Hi, welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. My name is Leonore. This is part 3 of Jupiter retrograding in the signs of both Scorpio and Sag for 2019. I started the second part of this video with the first spread, and I got the impression that you were either in a relationship or a business venture or career or job for quite some time. And you have come to some type of enlightenment on if you really want to stick around for it. And I almost feel like you not sticking around for it is kind of like where you're heading towards. But I wanted to clarify it, and part 3 is about my clarification. You see this big deck of card. I decided to use like my new mythic card with my Native American all jumbled up together, nice and shuffled, okay? So the first card is the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles it does kind of represent a little bit to me. If I had to say anything about the King of Pentacles, one thing about King of Pentacles is a very smart man, and I would say the higher learning part of Jupiter, which Jupiter rules, Sagittarius. It rules higher learning. It rules a mentor. It rules an older person, in this case could be an older relationship or career, This is a pretty old king. Not that old, but, All right, so 2 cards came out clarifying this King of Pentacles in the reverse. And this is the Knight of Wands. Finally, some fire energy. Oh, I kind of like that. And the 2 of Swords. They both... So I don't read reversal in this deck. Don't ask me why. I just decided not to. So we have the Knight of Wands. Now we're ready to take action, aren't we? And it looks like we've made a decision. Now, this could be a family situation because there's a little kid or a teenager right in the middle of these 2 people. But one seems very defensive. The other one is, not. But there's some type of uneven energy here. And again, I'm going to rephrase. It could be take it as a job or a career or a relationship. It just doesn't look like it's working out. You're taking action to literally leave the situation, So this is a clarification for the King of Pentacles. Love it. Love it, love it. I'm all about changes, but, it is hard. I have a lot of fixed energy in my chart, so don't get me wrong. It's not that easy, but there's some aspects in my chart that kind of balances it out. I love that about myself. Not gonna lie. All right. So the next one is the Ace of Swords. I'm trying to figure out why this crow is like sick and tired and is like literally doesn't want to be bothered anymore. I mean, it just literally does not want to be bothered anymore. But I also see some type of unexpected move or unexpected divorce papers or unexpected message in this card, which brings this crow into some type of enlightenment. So, ooh, look what came out. The King of Pentacles. All right, so interesting. So we found the King of Pentacles in the reverse in the first spread, but the second spread, he is in the upright. Again, like I said, I don't read these specific spread. I don't read in the reverse. Now, I don't see this King of Pentacles. I see this King of Pentacles in its own power. I see this person ready to start. So the King of Pentacles is a great husband, by the way. So let's not forget Jupiter rules husband, family, abundance. And this king has it all. Look at that house, that huge house he has in the back with his, probably 4 kids and 2 wives. I don't know. This is a new mythic tarot cards, and it has a lot of Greek images and gods and goddesses. But he's holding up his pentacle. He's owning up to his You know, he gets like little pentacles are also on the floor. His throne is made of gold. I mean, he's in his power. It's almost as if this crow was trying to tell him, this is what you should really be doing, you know, like walking away so you could become the King of Pentacles that you were kind of missing out on in the first spread, right? It's you know, like I was saying, Jupiter represents a husband. If you're trying to find a husband, or if you were in a relationship, it's either you're going to find a new commitment. This one is more stable, financially. You know, King of Pentacles is, to me, is one of the great husbands to have out of all the kings. And in my opinion, that's my opinion as a reader. And also the King of Swords. I don't know why. Maybe because I have an Aquarius moon, but I think Aquarius, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini are all air signs. But I mean, I don't know. The King of Swords has a husband. Sounds good to me. I like people who tells the truth and will rip your heads off if you don't, you know. That's more of the Queen of Swords, but the King of Swords in the upright sometimes will do that, definitely, if it's reversed. But this King of Pentacles seems very stable, seems calm and happy and a little worried. I see kind of worry in his face. He's like a little like, am I making the right choice? But there's so much abundance around this King of Pentacles. Like, don't be worried. Don't go back to that bad energy that was like, you know, that you were holding on to, because this King of Pentacles look like it's still holding on to that, you know, that past. I want you to know, do not hold on to it, okay? Because you will become this crow again, like this angry crow. Don't. All right, let it be. You'll find peace. You'll find happiness. All right, so the next card that I want to clarify is the Three of Cups with the creepy statue in the back of the lion. I don't know. That one was a little bit confusing to me. But, I mean, let's figure out what's going on with the Three of Cups, okay? Okay. Got a flipper. Oh my God. I gotta turn this one around because the Four of Wands came out in the Native American Tarot. Sorry about the glare. That is the illustration. There's their teepee or their tent. It's always a celebration, right? It's always a celebration for the Four of Wands when it comes out. And basically represents a union. There is some type of union coming out of this third-party energy. This useless energy in the background, you know? I feel like these two people who are opposites of each other, business partners, people that are lovers, whatever the case may be, are coming into a union. I see that very strongly. I feel it, I mean. Four of Wands is, I mean, to have this right by the King of Pentacles, like the King of Pentacles, which is one of the great husbands in the deck, with the Four of Wands coming right after it, I see I mean, again, I'm going to Pentacles is money. It represents money. So, you know, and the Four Wands, it's fire sign. I think it represent Aries, if I'm not mistaken, but it's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Those are all fire signs. Taking action. We're going into this union. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You may not even know about it. I almost feel like you're kind of like, no, it can't be. My life has gone so bad in the past few years that it's too good to be true. And I do feel, I have that sense in this two spreads. Like, it's just too good to be true. Like, for example, like the last card I'm going to clarify, which is the Knight of Cups, but it came out in the reverse. Like, he's called the Dreamer in this deck. The Dreamer. So it looks like you've been dreaming about something, but you're like, it's not going to come into fruition. And, well, Jupiter has something in store for you. You guys don't know anything about Jupiter, do you? Jupiter is the planet of good luck. It has its retrograde and shadow moments, but, you know, depending on, you know, you'll know. You'll just know. Whatever. I mean, I have Sagittarius and Pisces, actually, and, oh, wow. And it's the last sign of the zodiac, and I just realized what that meant. What does that mean? What does that mean, having a Jupiter in Pisces? And I realized what it meant, and I'm pretty happy to have that placement. But the two cards that came out representing the Dreamer, which is the Knight of Cups. This card came out first. Judgment. This is how the Judgment card looks in the Native American card. You see this buffalo. I see the end. I see that that you're either being helped by spirit, that you're being pushed to do what you need to do, whether you like it or not. I'm surprised the Tower didn't come out. But the Judgment is just as powerful. Judgment is here for you. It's Judgment Day. So whether you've done right or good, you're going to get what you need to get back. Whether it was a lesson learned, whether it was a relationship that you've been wanting and it finally comes, whether it's, you know, wanting to make money and you've been down on your luck and all of a sudden you have that dream job. You know, this is a spirit backing you up. That's what I see, this buffalo spirit helping this man that's contemplating, that's worried. Buffalo's like, I got your back. Like, what are you doing? It's Jupiter in retrograde. And right with it came the Six of Pentacles. Interesting. So what I feel about this, what I sense about this card, what I feel, the energy I feel in this card is whoever, it looks like you were having a very unfair relationship, unfair treatment. You weren't getting what you wanted or what you deserved. Whether it was a position at your job, whether it was a relationship that you were working so hard, but the other person wasn't giving. So the give and take was very uneven, very, very uneven. You see this guy with all these pentacles and this man on his knees, just probably even begging for half of that pentacle. And I think that's what the Judgment is telling you. See how this mean person This meanie doesn't even want to give one of his pentacles away. And the guy's like begging, like, please, I really need to feed my family. Now, please give me another chance in love, and let's try to work things out. That's what the judgment is here. This judgment is going to be judging this little meanie right here. And you're going to get what you deserve. And that's what the dreamer, that's what clarifies a dreamer, which is the Knight of Cups. And clouding the reading is the Fool. I always like to see what's at the bottom of the deck. And I say clouding the reading, I don't know why, but the bottom of the deck sometimes gives me more of a story. This is the Fool. The Fool represents a new venture, a new beginning. I mean, look at him. Look how happy he is. Look at that sun just coming up. You know, it's like the dawn of a new day. He's about to jump off, like not jump off, but literally walk off a cliff, you know, and into the unknown. And that's okay. This represents Aries. This is the only, besides the Judgment, this is the only other arcana that's in the deck. And this was in the back, on the bottom of the deck, which means to me just as much of what the spread is saying to me. You're starting a new beginning. Oh my gosh, how happy that is. That is so Jupiter, you know, and the fact that it's retrograding in these two signs. Oh my God. By the way, it goes into Capricorn next year, but I wanted to read what would happen for the remaining of the 2019 year, because it's mostly taking over those two signs, those Sagittarius and Scorpio. It's in those houses, and the Sagittarius and the Scorpio, they're very close to each other. So is Capricorn. But Capricorn's energy is going to come next year inside Jupiter. But this is a very Sagittarius, very Scorpio reading. Underneath the Fool card, I saw the Two of Wands. And then the Eight of Wands. Interesting. And then the Hangman. Okay, so I'm going to read the Two of Wands and the Eight of Cups. But to me, what this represents is you made a decision to walk away. You're like, yeah, F this marriage, or, you know, F this job. I'm walking away. I'm leaving. And I'm starting this new beginning. And yeah, I mean, I know where I'm going, but you know what? It's better than what I had in the past. So proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of myself. I'm also going through some type of situation, but I've been going through that type of situation for years. Anyway, so that was the reading for Jupiter in retrograde, for both signs of Scorpio and Sagittarius. I will be doing more of these videos. I would like to do Venus. However, right now the planets that are retrograding, I know when I first started meditating over these cards, I did see Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. And those signs, Uranus also, I'm sorry, I don't know why I always miss Uranus. They're pretty much in the sky. They're really close to us. They're next to the sun, and when it's retrogrades, I don't know if you know this, but retrograding means like these planets are behind the sun, and so it looks like the planet is not orbiting as fast as it should be, you know. And honestly, these planets don't really orbit fast. I mean, they're huge, or they're planets that are way back, you know. It takes a generation for some of them to even orbit around the Earth, the sun, I should say, because the sun is the center, but. And then once it transits, it moves at its regular speed. So it's not, you know, over the summer, I know in July, the two eclipses in July, I was able to see these planets early July, late June, if I remember correctly. I was able to see these 3 planets in the sky. And I remember a video on YouTube. It was an astrologer. A couple of astrologers said that if you do look up at a sky, you'll see these 3 planets. You'll see Jupiter, you'll see Neptune and Uranus. Pluto, not so much. Pluto, you won't. You'll be shocked if you see it. Would have to need a telescope, like high grade. But I did see them. Saturn, Neptune. I think it was Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune. I'm sorry if I'm getting my planets wrong. I apologize. Please don't hang me for it. But I did see them, and it was such a beautiful sight to see. And you know which one, and you knew immediately which planet was Jupiter because of its the heavy, the vast of I mean, we're talking about a lot of, it's a big, huge planet. It's the hugest planet on Earth, on the solar system. So, and then the 2 planets that came right afterwards. So, all these signs are, all these planets are affecting us. And if you know anything about this type of astrology, you would know that. And the placements in which houses it's affecting, like for example, Jupiter in retrograde will affect Sagittarius and Scorpio, right? Obviously, because Jupiter is retrograding in those 2 signs, but it all sort of, the polar opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini. The polar opposite of Scorpio is, why am I blanking out? Is, God, why am I blanking out? Taurus. Don't be surprised if those 4 signs, Sagittarius, Gemini, Taurus, and Scorpio, are being affected by this Jupiter in a very good way. Not that it's not affecting anybody else. With other placements, for example, my placement is Jupiter in Pisces. It did give me a little gift because I have 4 placements in Scorpio. So, just don't think that just because your Jupiter is not in none of those signs, you may have a Scorpio, a Taurus, or Gemini, or Sagittarius in other parts of your chart. And depending on what that house rules, you'll get abundance. You will get the abundance you want, whether it's a family, career, that new car, that girlfriend down the street, or that bartender down the road, But it was a pleasure. Please give this video a thumbs up. And please subscribe. I would like the video to circulate so people could see if it resonates with them or get some type of information, and hopefully they could share it with others if it doesn't resonate with them. All right. Thank you for visiting Soul Searching Tarot. Again, my name is Leonora, and my email is right below if you need a private reading. Thank you. It's in the description box, I should say. Bye-bye.